everyone, welcome back to Binastep. In the previous video, we have completed service registry. We have configured Eureka servers and we have started the port 8761. So currently we don't have any microservice instance running, so it says no instance available. So in this video, we will create employee service and department service and register with Eureka client. Let's create department service first and then we will create employee service. As employee service is depending on department service, so we will create department service first and then we'll map it to employee service. So let's go back to our Spring Initializer. We'll take project as Maven, language as Java, Spring 3.3.2. We'll create a group Binastep dot department service we'll write the description as this service is written for I'm good with this package name. Let's create package as jar and Java 17. In the dependencies, we'll add web. We need Lombok. Lombok is for Pojo class. We'll add Eureka client. We'll add a curator. And we'll add Jipkin. So these are the dependencies required to create department service. So let's generate and import in IntelliJ. Let's import from here. Let me stop the server. Go to Maven, add Maven project, department service. Now let's create an entity for department. So let's create some package. Create So we will be connecting this department service with database. So I am placing that. Now we will work with database H2 and we have to add the JPA dependency. So I forgot to add that. Let's add that in form.xml. Let's work with H2 database and supporting JPA. Explore here. Can take the dependencies of JPA. Let's copy JPA, paste it here for H2. This is H2 database. So H2. Yeah. So let's begin with entity. So let's create a Java class department and add some properties like department ID, department name, department address, and department code. Let's make this entity and make my department ID as ID and generate ID strategy work. We have Lombok, so we will add data no arguments, constructor and all arguments. Let's create an interface repository. Let me create Java interface with department repo. We'll make this as repository and we'll extend JPA repository. As my department ID is long type, we'll add attributes as department and long. Let's import the department. So we are done with the repository. Let's create a controller, name as department controller. Make annotate as REST controller. We'll create two methods. Let's make a service class, department service, and auto-wire this. Let's create two methods. One is to save the department details, other one is to find by ID. So let's import those. Post mapping department, get mappings, request body and path value. So let's create a service named as department service. And annotate with service. Let's import the service, department service. Let's create save department in service controller, in service, find department by ID. Let's add request mapping as well, and we will mark as department. Let's add loggers as well. We'll add SLF4J, add loggers dot info in department controller, save department. We'll copy this. Find by ID method. So let's come back to service. We'll auto wire the repository private let's send it to repository. Let's add loggers as well. Let's make SLF4J, add log here, log.info in department service class save department. Let's add log here, info in department service class find by id method. So let's return department repo.save and department repo.find by as we are creating department by id. Let's have a method in repo. So let's keep find department by id and pass department id. Let's create find department by id in department repo and annotate with query saying select D from department D, where D dot department ID is equal to department ID. So we are done with repository, we are done with service, we are done with entity and control. So let's configure Eureka client in application.yaml file. Let's create a file. Add server.port 8081 and Spring application name as department service. Let's add Eureka client configurations. So I am adding cloud config details here, which is not enabled currently. We will add it later, but this is the Eureka client configurations. We have to register this microservice as Eureka client, so it will be true, and fetch registry will be true. Service URL for default zone will be 8761 and the host will be localhost. So these are the configurations for Eureka client. Let's update our main class with some annotation. Enable discovery client. And we have configured repo as well. Just to show, we will add enable JPA repository, and we will add base package is equal to our repositories package, which is this. So we are done with the department service. Let's run and check whether department service is registered in Eureka client. I have started service registry. Once this is up, we'll start department service. Yeah, so service registry is working on 8761. Let's start department service. The Tomcat got started for department service with the port 8081. So let's check the instance in Eureka Server. Refresh once and see department service instance is running at the port 8081.